See, here it goes again. I don't understand what's going on. So I'm sure you guys noticed that little weird glitch, whatever was going on the screen there. Now, I just wanted to take a second to talk about kind of some of the things that are making us all so annoyed with these new vehicles. This is not supposed to be, bashing on Chevy. It's not a Chevy video. This was just something I happened to notice when I happened to be driving this Chevy, and I wanted to kind of talk about it. I was actually really excited that we got this truck. I did a video on a 5.3 not too long ago, talking about whether it can kind of keep up, blah, 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 blah. This truck got traded in. I was really kind of wondering why, because it's overall a reasonably nice truck. Has under 12,000 miles. So I was thinking, why does somebody usually trade something in with that low of miles? Maybe they wanted leather, maybe they moved to a diesel, something like that, right? No, these folks went completely kind of the other direction. But anyway, so like I say, I did the 5.3 video. I was really excited to get this truck. I wanted to try it out in this kind of configuration versus the kind of more loaded GMC that we had and see how it felt. It felt really good. Drivetrain feels smooth, solid. It's a 5.3, so it's not a race machine by any means, but it felt good. And then, as I was driving it, I was in the truck for no more than 20-25 minutes, and this screen restarted, not exaggerating, 12-15 times. I don't know what the problem is. The air conditioner, I have it set on automatic. Right now it's on 72. I'll turn it back on automatic. It would really increase its fan speed. Let me turn it back down just so it's not screaming for you guys. But see, there it goes again. I don't understand. It just randomly restarts. You guys can see I just hit air buttons. I didn't hit anything to do with the screen. I hit air fan buttons and the whole screen restarts. Again, I'm not trying to bag on Chevy whatsoever. This one just happens to be the guilty culprit at the moment. That kind of led me to this discussion. Because that's so unfortunate, guys. Modern vehicles have so many benefits to them, and there's some drawbacks too. That, again, not really the point of the discussion. I just wanted to talk about, from the perspective of us folks that are purchasing these, it's super frustrating. I don't remember back in the day. Of course you had your oddballs, your outliers that were super unreliable, whatever. But I don't remember there ever being a time where you were going to look at a new vehicle and you were wondering if all the stuff was going to work correctly. Granted, we didn't have all the crazy features that we do now. Everything's digital, all the goodies, which all the goodies are great when they work. And truly, I was so excited to come play with this truck. I shouldn't say play with. I was excited to drive this truck and check it out. It's a LT Silverado, more of a base model truck in a sense. Nothing too crazy fancy in the grand scheme of things compared to, a lot of other things modern day. So I was really excited. This is the kind of truck that would kind of be right up my alley. It's a 2023, 12,000 miles, a lot less than a new one. Usually that's kind of my sweet spot. But if with 12,000 miles, just under 12,000 miles, the screen's already having a ton of issues. The air conditioner on auto goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And I know what you might try to say, it's auto, it's reading temp. It's not. I've never been in a vehicle that does it the way this one was doing it. Obviously, that's kind of hard to get on camera, but trust me, I spend a lot of time in new vehicles. This is not normal. It was going up and down. The fan speed was maxed and then all the way down. Max, all the way down. That is not something that I have really ever experienced. And again, the screen seems to work fine for a few minutes, and then it'll randomly cut out. I noticed just kind of exploring through, I wanted to come over and look at some of the settings. And again, this screen is incredible. It's so big, it's clear, it's really nice. You have tons of different settings that you can use. You can set up teen driver, buckle to drive, a lot of safety features. Obviously, I don't want that. Oh, once again, guys. Here we go. It's about to restart. It's truly, I don't get it, man. Device is starting over and over and over again. This truck is like just barely a year old and doesn't even have 12,000 miles. It's just so frustrating because I know what you can say. Electronics are complicated, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of really complicated electronics out in the world now that don't have significant problems with any kind of frequency near what vehicles are, right? Our phones. I have a newer iPhone. It works perfectly fine all the time. I never have issues with it. I've had issues with 1 out of like 8 iPhones that I've owned. And that one, I didn't exactly treat it like a baby, right? I have a 2013 truck, a 10-year-old truck. That one does not have any of these electronic quirks that the new ones do. It doesn't have all the same features, but it's still a bigger screen. It still has heated and cooled seats. It has all those things, and there's not a single hiccup with the electronic system. It's just really frustrating to see a manufacturer. Granted, maybe this is a one-off. Maybe it just needs an update. Maybe I'm being harsh. But again, guys, it's less than a year old. It has 12,000 miles, and the screen's already tweaking out. I hooked up my phone, unhooked my phone. That's when I really started noticing the problems. Again, I'm not trying to bash Chevy. It just happened to be a Chevy that had this particular issue today that made me want to talk about it. But seriously, you know, none of the manufacturers are innocent. You hear of different horror stories and problems with pretty much all of them. And it's just so irritating. Now, I know anything that is mass-produced in the level of the millions, there's going to be some that have quirks. Believe me, I understand that better than just about anybody. But it seems to be repetitive year after year after year. The same stuff is going on with these vehicles. And again, it's a shame because this has so many cool features. Just watch this little truck icon on the side here. When I switch modes, see how it shows a little bit the off-road, it jumps up a little bit. Sport, it runs when you tow. It shows you towing a trailer. Like, dude, that is so cool. I love all of that. As long as it works, right? The screen's doing it again. I didn't even touch it. I don't understand, dude. I guess I just don't know what needs to be done to get something to change. Like I say, obviously it's not necessarily as simple as I'll just fix it, right? That's easy to say, a lot harder to do. We know there's a lot that goes into these vehicles. They're very complicated. There's tons of moving parts. There's tons of sensors. I live in Arizona where it's hotter than crap, right? You got to build vehicles that are good in Alaska and in Arizona. I understand that it's a real project to make something rock solid reliable. You know, when are we as consumers going to say enough is enough? We're tired of all the issues. You know, like I say, electronics, my phone right here. I can whip out my phone. It works all the time. Works. It just works perfectly fine. This thing, less than a year old, already taking a dump. I don't understand, right? And like I say, you see it from all the manufacturers. I'm not just picking on Chevy here. This is more of just an industry conversation. But again, there's no other industry where we would, you know, put up with this. If Xboxes were all having significant problems like that, we would just buy PlayStations. You know, I know that's a little bit of a different scenario because if you're a Chevy guy, you're a Chevy guy, Ford, Ram, whatever. But still, there's nothing throughout history that when a particular portion of it just continues to fail over and over, we don't try to do anything to fix it. And I know we can complain. Did you guys see that? It's doing it again. This is what I'm saying. It's insane. I don't understand how it could possibly be that screwed up at 1 year old. Again, maybe this is just a bad one. Maybe it's a lemon, quote unquote. But like I say, I have a 10-year-old truck. I'd like to start thinking about a new or newer truck soon. And having an experience like this, you know, 1 year old, under 12,000 miles, it really kind of turns you off. I know it's Chevy, so maybe GMC's better, but it's all the same stuff. Maybe you look at a Ford, but it's not like Ford's innocent. Ram, same thing. They all have such quirks, and I don't know what we need to do to fix it. I truly was super stoked. On the freeway at 70 miles an hour, this truck was reading like 20 to 24 miles a gallon. Rather, I was going, you know, downhill or flat or whatever. Now, obviously, that might be a little bit of an aggressive number, but if you could get 19, 20 miles a gallon in a V8, it can tow, you know, say my jet skis and side-by-side and my camp trailer and whatever. Man, that would be awesome. It's reasonably nice. I personally prefer the center console, you know, but, you know, again, not really the discussion of this particular truck. It's doing it again. Dude, this is what I was saying. It literally restarted like 15 times in 20 minutes. Anyways, I'm sorry I've been just kind of rambling on, but every time I get to talking about something, it does it again. I don't know what the problem is. But before I ramble on too much longer, guys, I mean, that's going to pretty much do it. I just wanted to jump in, kind of show you guys what was going on, have a brief talk about it. Let me know if you think this is a Chevy thing or GM thing, whatever. Or if you think this is a big industry problem. Have you had one of these trucks? Did you have this issue, or did you have a different brand with this issue? Leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think. To me, this is pretty crazy.